You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need better genetics. You don't need the perfect opportunity. You just need to do something that most people refuse to do. Outwork them, because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Talent is admired, luck is envied, but work is ignored until it becomes impossible to ignore. One day, people will call you gifted. They'll say, "You were born for this. You got lucky. It came naturally." They'll never see the thousands of hours when nobody was watching. They'll only see the result, never the repetition. And that's why most people misunderstand success. They think greatness is built in moments. It isn't. It's built in mornings. We love stories about talent because talent is comforting. If someone succeeds because they're naturally gifted, then our own lack of success isn't our fault. We can blame genetics, luck, timing, anything except ourselves. But look closer. The greatest people in every field have one thing in common. Not talent, not intelligence, not privilege, an obsession with the process. They practice when nobody asks them to. They study after everyone else stops. They repeat the boring things long after the excitement disappears, because they understand something most people don't. Your future isn't decided by what you do once. It's decided by what you do thousands of times. Imagine an iceberg. Everyone sees the top, the trophies, the money, the confidence, the recognition. What they don't see is everything underneath. The failures, the lonely mornings, the weekends sacrificed, the birthdays missed, the nights where quitting would have been easier. Success is public. The price is private. That's why people always underestimate what excellence costs, because they never paid the bill. There are people right now training while others are sleeping, reading while others are scrolling, learning while others are complaining, building while others are waiting. Every minute you choose comfort, someone else is choosing progress, and they aren't competing with you. They don't even know your name. Yet one day, you'll wonder why they reached places you didn't. The problem isn't that you're lazy. The problem is you've been measuring yourself against average. Average studies only before the exam. Average goes to the gym when motivation appears. Average starts projects and abandons them halfway. Average waits for Monday. Average waits for next month. Average waits until life feels easier. Then average wonders why life never changes. If you compare yourself to average, you'll always feel like you're doing enough. But enough rarely changes anything. If you want extraordinary results, you can't have ordinary standards. You have to become comfortable doing what uncomfortable people avoid. Because excellence isn't created by intensity, it's created by consistency. Anyone can work hard for one day. Very few people can do it for 1 year. There comes a moment in every person's life where they have to make a decision. Do I keep negotiating with my potential, or do I finally demand more from myself? Because every excuse feels reasonable until you meet someone who had the same obstacles and still outworked everyone. That's the painful part. Not realizing you weren't capable. Realizing you stopped too soon. The world doesn't care how much potential you have. It only responds to what you repeatedly produce. And maybe that's why the gap between who you are and who you could become isn't talent. It's effort. Effort repeated. Long after everyone else has gone home. That's where people separate themselves, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. when nobody is counting, when nobody is clapping, when nobody would even know if they decided to quit. That's the moment that defines everything, because discipline isn't tested. When you feel motivated, it's tested. When motivation disappears, nobody remembers the random Tuesday. When you chose to keep going, nobody remembers the workout you almost skipped. Nobody remembers the chapter you forced yourself to finish. Nobody remembers the extra hour you spent practicing. But your future does. Your future remembers every decision that your present forgets. Because success isn't built from life-changing moments. It's built from ordinary days, repeated in an extraordinary way. One extra page, one extra rep, one extra attempt, one more hour on their own. They seem meaningless. Together, they become a different life. People keep asking, what's the secret? There isn't one. The secret is that there was never a secret, only work. Boring, repetitive, uncomfortable work, done consistently for longer than everyone else was willing to do it. Right now, while you're thinking about starting, someone already has. While you're planning, someone is practicing. While you're making excuses, someone is building. The uncomfortable truth is, you are always competing with people you'll never meet. Someone in another city, another country, another time zone, woke up today with the exact same dream as you. They don't know your name, they don't know your face, but every day they're becoming harder to catch. Not because they're more talented, because they're more consistent. And consistency always beats intensity. Think about that. You can work harder than everyone for 1 week and still lose to someone who simply refused to stop. Because winners don't always move faster. They just stop less often. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, I'll start when I feel ready. No, you won't, because readiness is a feeling, and feelings change. Some mornings you'll wake up excited. Other mornings you'll question everything. If your discipline depends on your emotions, your future will depend on your emotions too. And emotions are terrible leaders. Professionals don't wake up every day feeling inspired. They wake up and work anyway, because they understand something powerful. The goal isn't to feel like working. The goal is to become the kind of person who works, regardless of how they feel. Everyone loves imagining success. Very few people enjoy becoming the person who deserves it, because becoming is painful. It demands sacrifice. It demands patience. It demands that you choose long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. You can't become exceptional while protecting every comfort you've ever known. Something has to be sacrificed. Sometimes it's sleep. Sometimes it's entertainment. Sometimes it's your ego. Sometimes it's the version of yourself that wants everything to be easy. The hardest battle isn't against the world. It's against the voice in your head that keeps saying, you've done enough. Have you? Or have you simply reached the point where discomfort begins? Because that's where almost everyone stops. Not at failure, at discomfort. And if you can learn to keep moving when it's uncomfortable, you'll eventually arrive somewhere. Most people never will. Maybe you've been looking at this all wrong. Maybe the goal isn't to outwork everyone else. Maybe the first person you need to outwork is the version of yourself from yesterday. Become a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more disciplined, a little more focused every single day, because if you become just 1% better every day, eventually, the gap between you and the person you used to be will become impossible to recognize. And one day, people will ask how you became so disciplined, so focused, so unstoppable. They'll think it happened all at once, but you'll know the truth. It happened one ordinary day at a time, because greatness has never belonged to the people who wanted it the most. It belongs to the people who were willing to work for it the longest.